Okay, folks, this is the craziest thing ever. You know, it's my very first metal festival. It's my first time in Finland. And of course, I get to meet the legendary Apocalyptica from Helsinki. You guys are from Helsinki too, right?
Yeah, this
Awesome.
is the way
So this
where it began.
exactly. So the home field, basically. That is fantastic. So anyway, I'm just gonna say we've got Aika and Pertu. Am I saying it right? Because my Finnish is terrible.
But actually, surprisingly well. I was
Really?
kind of hoping much worse because then we would have had the chance to laugh at you.
Oh, okay. Well, you can. We'll find another reason to do so. And so, anyway, so how's your summer been? You guys have been on all kinds of tours and summer shows. How's it been going so far?
Summer has been pretty hectic. We have done now like 4 straight weekends and a lot of shows, great festivals, Hellfest and other, biggest festivals, metal festivals in Europe. But it's minor sleep. Like you get this maybe 10 hours in three nights chance to sleep. So you don't basically know where you are anymore. But now we are. It always feels actually good to come play home ground, Finland, to show what we have been up to.
Like yesterday, I went to take a rental car when we arrived to Helsinki, and it was Saturday yesterday, and I was like giving my driver's license, and like, yeah, your car was reserved for yesterday. So that's how our brain works, but that's how much we've been going around. So it's hard to keep track on which day and
I can imagine.
going.
Same thing with the weather too. And you guys are probably used to it from Helsinki weather, but this has been the craziest weather I've ever seen. Just in the weekend we've been here, it's been freezing cold, it's been raining, and it's been hot in the sun, all in within a matter of a couple hours. So how do you guys handle that? Because
Actually, neither of us live basically in Finland anymore. But the weather conditions, they are, of course, unpredictable, and that makes an extra special flavor often to the festival gigs, that you might have extreme heat on some countries and sun straight to the stage while you play, and we are just smashed to death after that. And basically then other sets might be in a freezing cold where you just can't barely move the
Like
fingers.
last week in Hellfest was like so hot that the asphalt started to sweat. The tar started to stick on your shoes and stuff, and now it's like.
yeah, and then even today it's supposed to be really windy and cold, but right now it's quite hot. What does that do to the cellos?
I was just about
Yeah,
to say,
okay.
thank you for asking. You read my mind, because I wanted to say that for us, especially with the really, really sensitive and fragile instrument, those weather conditions, the humidity, all it affects in a way actually more than in a guitar. So our tuning, the whole grip and the rosin that we use for a bow, it's melting. So that gives an additional level of whole challenge, like how to survive. It's not only that you take your crowd and have fun, but how to manage to get the sound out of your
Yeah,
instrument.
that's by far the biggest challenge for us on playing shows, festival shows. By far the biggest challenge.
And I have to say, I had the opportunity to see you guys in Washington D.C. in February, and you guys were amazing. The whole time, it's a lot of like finger work, and it seems like you guys obviously know, but it seems like and you got to like probably push harder on the strings and all that kind of stuff. I always focus on, like, a lot of times focus on vocalists, because it's like, how many shows can you do, back to back and all of that. But the work that you guys put in, it's quite physical. How many, like, is there a level of how long you can go before you have to take a break from a show
it has started to
perspective?
change. Like it depends on the kind of this program what we play, but like this program is very, very demanding for physically.
Yes, and we also know, of course, we are not the young guys anymore than when we started, so we started to kind of more also realize this and take better care of ourselves in future plans when it comes to tourings, how many off days comparing to the shows. But we have been known as, I would say, quite a heavy working band, because the craziest tours we made back then was like 22 shows in 21 days.
Wow.
And like that's just too much. Nobody can do it.
And on a regular basis have been like 6 shows a week, but it has turned out very often like it's 12 back-to-back shows, one day off, and 13 back-to-back shows.
Yeah.
And now we have figured out that it's too much because we don't recover anymore.
Yeah.
at the same
Yeah,
speed.
naturally. And of course, for vocalists, it's very sensitive to preserve your voice. We basically can still barely play if we have broken fingers.
Yeah.
Because that also happened.
Yeah.
But,
Wow.
but our attitude always kind of was that never cancel a show unless you are
tied in a hospital.
Tied in a hospital, I guess.
Because I have to say, like, after the show that I saw, my fingers hurt, and I wasn't even doing anything. It was just watching you guys going, "Oh, that's insane." But the other thing that I really loved about your show, and it was you guys were covering your Metallica album that came out, Volume 2. And I will say, if you guys haven't seen it, you absolutely have to see it. It's just an amazing show. And what I loved about it was one big sing-along. And it was so great to like bring out all of the, the Metallica songs. And it just felt like one communal group of people, singing along. It was so great. So was it just my show, or have those shows just been going the same way?
Yeah.
Tours?
Yeah, that's kind of it's been the thing. That's why there's been absolutely zero need for to have any vocalist on this tour.
Yeah.
It's been obvious from always when we play Metallica songs. If somebody wants to sing, if they will be singing, that's the audience who will take care of that part.
So now that we're talking about Metallica, so a couple things. I know you guys have like a long relationship with Metallica because you guys first kind of started out, playing Metallica, and I think that's when they noticed you guys.
Yeah.
How did that first contact happen? Was it that they reached out to you saying that you've seen them, or how did that?
I think that happen? Of course, the record label when we did the first album had to do some clearance that it's okay that we do it, and then I think first contact I saw that one Finnish journalist was interviewing Kirk Hammett and gave the album to him. But people were talking, and then suddenly journalists started to ask Metallica what they think about us, and they were like giving really positive feedback and comments about the album. And then already it was November '96, like 5-6 months after the album release, we were opening for them in Helsinki.
That's gotta be crazy.
And that was the first time we met with them, and then kind of we're
That
doing
was kind
things ever since.
It was basically like the 5th public show of Apocalyptica's career.
Wow.
Open
like
for Metallica. So it's
I
pretty
can't
insane.
imagine that. I always try to ask people, it's the whole never meet your heroes type of situation.
Yeah.
And it's like, how crazy is that you guys, get to play with Metallica like that?
Yeah, that was really crazy.
Yeah.
Really crazy, because at those times we even didn't expect anything to come out of the band. When we did the first album, we did it because we got a possibility. We didn't even look for the possibility. We were asked to do the album based on a live show, and we thought doing that for an experiment, and we were hoping if we sell 1,000 copies in a couple of shows, that's great, And then opening for Metallica, even then we didn't think about this could be a long-term career for us. But then things started to evolve into the direction. And
so now with the latest album, you've got one of the singles was the cover of One, and James was actually on that. What I noticed was interesting is the fact that he did it in spoken word.
I can't remember anything. Can't tell if this is true or dream. Deep down inside, I feel the scream. This terrible silence stops me.
Was that something that you guys had asked for as far as creating like that style, or like how does that connection happen?
Actually, One for sure, like for most of the metalheads, probably is one of the most important songs in life, and for me, for example, for us, that's the case. So I always kind of felt that there is even more in a story, and I wanted to create a new version, kind of cinematic and as bombastic as we ever can with this group. And all the time there was the idea that what if the lyrics actually could be like a narrator, like giving more maybe meaning even to the words. And absolutely, it was clear for us all the time that we don't want to have anybody to re-sing it, because why would anybody do that? And
tough shoes to fill.
But when Eikka introduced these ideas that we would actually want to have a narrator to James, and at that time we thought about anybody like Ron Perlman or somebody with a great voice.
Yeah.
James basically mentioned that, why don't you ask me?
Wow.
That's so cool that he would like to do it himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that is super cool.
So basically all these collaborations with Metallica, what we have on this album, they were just like when we started to work on this music, we didn't have any thought even to involve Metallica in any ways. But then kind of those things started to pop up while working on the music. Like, for example, asking to kind of like getting Cliff Burton bass track for Call of Cthulhu.
That is crazy.
Or to Rob play bass on for Horsemen. It was like okay, this needs to be played by bass, this, and if we have a bass player, it should be, it should make some sense. So let's ask Rob what he thinks, and so it was more like we would have done all these songs without Metallica. So we were not depending on that. It was just like, these are so cool ideas. Let's present this to the guys and see what they think.
That's amazing.
And they were like, "Oh, God, this is awesome." Lars was like, "Oh, I love that you always think out of the box." And he got really excited.
Absolutely, it gives me chills when you think of situations like that where the actual person is just like, well, "Hey, why don't I just help out?" With that? They're like, "Are you serious? This is crazy." And so that is awesome. The one thing I also was thinking about, and I'm not, you guys definitely have a career of your own music and whatnot. But just while on the subject of covering Metallica for an actual album or 2 albums, but is there another band that if you were to do a tribute to or that you would do a full album to, what band would that be?
That's an interesting question, and I'm sure that we in a way have been thinking of it, and I would maybe say that necessarily not the whole album or anything, because for us, naturally, in the 90s, why anybody got an idea of playing metal music with the crazy instrument was basically the Metallica fandom.
Yeah.
That's where it starts. So we kind of probably associate ourselves really from there. But we did so many Sepultura, Pantera or other songs, so it would be, I would love, for example, Judas Priest is one of my all-time favorite bands, so it would be so cool to actually play.
But it wouldn't be great full album, we play instrumental Judas Priest for full album, 1 or 2 songs would be cool, but 8-10 songs, I don't think it would be exciting, It's not because of how Judas Priest is, but it's like how Apocalyptica is. It's more about us than the other bands. So I think Metallica is probably the only band that has the diversity of their material is so huge. Like there are so many dimensions that there is enough. Because like what we face now, the lot of songs that we wanted to do for this album, we just felt that okay, when we take the lyrics, the vocal performance out, Metallica sound out, it's okay, but Apocalyptica instrumental version, it's not great.
Yeah.
So we had to feel that every version feels like, oh, this is great. This is great music as its own, not only because it's Metallica music. Our version needs to be great music by itself. And I think that's even with Metallica's material, it's not that we can play anything from them.
Yeah.
And to make it really cool.
And then it comes also to very passionate creativity that we kind of consider ourselves already as a real band, and we have a lot to say with our own music.
Oh, absolutely.
And we wouldn't want to step completely just like to once again go that you are the cover band, whatever. It's lovely to do what we do because we feel that even with the Metallica we can give like a little own flavor in there, and it's very typical or recognizable Apocalyptica stuff that we do. But for sure, for example, the next thing we do after these tours is gonna be oriented in own material.
Absolutely.
We want to compose. That gives us the whole world of possibilities to seek what you can actually do with the cello. And
when we do covers, I would like to add that when we do covers, we kind of have to feel the same level of ownership to the music that it would be our own music.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Is there a and you guys have had different feature artists and whatnot. Is there a feature singer that you have not worked with that you would like to work with at some point?
No, we worked already with all our
all of the heroes.
Naturally. There's always, you could always throw in like crazy names like Pink, Nick Cave, or people that you admire, that they have something really special in their character. But probably in future we continue working with, for example, with friends. That's a great thing, that you meet amazing people around the world and in festivals, and often those connections lead up to songs. But naturally, we are always open. That's the biggest thing, and very in a wide spectrum.
And you know, the enjoyment of the creative process is not about who is how great star. You know, it's not about. It's about writing music, making music with cool people that creates an exciting something. You know, the magic happens. So, you know, that's why we don't have this kind of ultimate lists of singers that would be great, because you never know, somebody who you think is great and they might turn out to be assholes. You know, and a pain in the ass to work with. So you never know.
But the roster is pretty impressive, though. Corey Taylor, Till Lindemann, and James Hetfield, and I believe that all of them belong to our all-time favorite vocalists.
I think the problem is every time I hear a band, or like even my favorite band, Iron Maiden, I'm always like, Apocalyptica would be so great with it. You know, I put you guys with like everybody. I put you guys with everybody. And so I know we're getting the high sign, but I just want to say, we can give a little plug. I always ask people, especially at this festival, I've been asking, when are you coming to America? You guys have already been to America, but it looks like you're coming back.
Yeah.
And so
in September.
Back in September. So folks, if you are in America, definitely check out Apocalyptica, because I've already seen them. They're amazing, and I can't wait to see them tonight. It's just going to be another great show. So thank you guys.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. Plus the whole package. We are coming to tour US and Canada in September with the Hailstorm and Lindsey Sterling. And it's also the whole night is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
So hope to see you guys there.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure meeting you guys, and just have a great show tonight.
Thank you so much.
Can you one more time try our names, please?
Okay, I'm going to go.
No, and it's not pressed. That's good.
Pair 2?
Oh, yes.
Aika.
Yes.
All right.
Really good.
Okay.
Really good. Nothing to complain.
It took 3 days of being in Finland to get it right, because I've butchered everything else.
Yeah, if you wonder what it's about, the difficulty of Finnish language, just try it out.
So one thing I've been really trying, I was like, I have nope, because people have tried to talk to me, and I'm just like, English, I'm so thankful everybody speaks English for the most part, because I would be, shoot, they're going to get me.
Yeah.
Okay, I could talk to you guys forever.
But I have to say, it's great that it doesn't relate to any language.
Exactly.
So you can't even guess what people are talking about, because there's not a single familiar word.
No, not at all. Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.